Hey everybody, Mason here, Cardinal Gaming. Appreciate you clicking on the video, supporting the channel, supporting the store. You guys always do. You'll have to forgive me. It is the tail end of a Saturday. So here late, trying to do a video, trying to get things out to you guys. Just talk to you, see what's up, how we doing. Try to cover some stuff that you may haven't heard. So I want to talk about this because it is something that is important to the hobby, and it's something that is important to a lot of people out there. Pokemon is changing the definition of what a Pokemon League is, and it's hurting a lot of communities around the country that may not have a store to go and play in. And that is a hard concept to think of or to believe, but it is something that makes sense, and from their perspective, makes a lot of sense. I initially saw a post on Facebook of somebody that had received an email from Pokemon. I guess this person runs their tournament or league out of a library. And I'll read you just an excerpt of what was in the letter here. It says, "Dear Professor, thank you for your petition in the Play Pokemon program. We're reaching out to you in regard to their league. Over the past few years, participation in the organized play program has grown and changed, and we have evolved to meet the needs of our growing communities. This has included a focus on retail venues and local game stores. As such, we are no longer able to support leagues hosted at venues that do not meet our current retail venue requirements found here." And that's a link to all the requirements. "As of today, leagues located at non-retail venues, such as this person's league, will need to begin finding a new league venue that meets the retail venue requirements. Leagues will have until May 31st to find a new retail venue in their community to host their league. If they're not able to, they'll close their league, basically, and they will lose all eligibility for cups, pre-releases, premiere events, all that stuff." So, basically, a lot of places around the country, rural areas or areas that just have low populations, just don't have access to stores or a store that's willing to host Pokemon events. There are stores out there that, even after the run-up and the huge boom that Pokemon has had, they just don't want to run Pokemon events. They just don't see the value in them. And for a lot of people too, Pokemon is made for kids. And while a lot of competitive players and a lot of people that take the game seriously are adults, and people that are going to build the communities and be a part of these communities, like leagues, are adults. A lot of my guys are adults. It is a lot of kids, and the kids come and go, and they kids, as they try different things, they'll play Pokemon for a little bit and then fall out, and then a new group will replace them, and it's just the regulars that I have are not kids. Very few kids. And most of them are at least high school, and then in college, and then even adults that come and play, and just people that grew up playing the game and are familiar with it, and just take to Pokemon better than other TCGs, and they just want to participate because they still like the IP. Obviously, there's plenty of adults out there that love this IP, and do want to play the game. So, but a lot of stores just don't want to put up with the kids and having to teach them and regulate that and do that. It's just a lot more effort than it is to run a a Magic event or a Yu-Gi-Oh event. You throw people's names up on a screen, and they say, "Oh, there's your pairings. Go sit down and play the game. Let me know who wins." A lot of leagues and tournament nights just want to roll like that and have it easy. So, there could be stores that just don't want to run Pokemon. So people that want to play Pokemon, they have to go to a library, or I've heard of places going to, like Arby's and McDonald's and places like that just have tables. Food courts in malls, even though there's not a store that is even in that mall, possibly, and just as somewhere that has, decent lighting and stuff like that to have enough space to play. And people people will be running these leagues just out of the kindness of their hearts. Leagues are not a paid thing. You don't get a lot of things out of it. You get staff promos, but that's realistically the only any sort of payment that you have. And even running a pre-release, it's very difficult because you have to go through distribution in order to get these pre-release kits. Maybe beforehand, when they first started leagues, you could get it yourself if you are running your own events in your own league. I think up until, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, that was be a thing. But since then, all product has to go through distribution, and that's kind of how they divvy things up. And I'm assuming they're making this change. As I said, they're just trying to focus on retail spaces and game stores and supporting game stores to have these leagues. But it's really sad to see this stuff go because, like I said, some people just don't have the space in the venue that is willing to host an event for them, and that's sad. A lot of these people that would be otherwise enjoying the TCG and playing the game don't have the opportunity to do that anymore, and that's a real bummer. And on this post, I initially posted, just check with your local game stores. I know you want to run a league, but I'm sure even if they don't run events now, if you go to a store and say, hey, my league is getting shut down because I don't have an actual LGS that I go through, can I run events here with you? What do I have to do that? I'm sure that there's plenty of game stores that do not play Pokemon or run Pokemon events that would jump at that chance and be like, hey, cool. If you want to do it and you already have a community and we're just merging it together, there's just more people in my store, more people in my chairs as a win-win. So a lot of stores would be very grateful and very thankful for that. And even if people have to kind of integrate and stuff like that, that's all well and good. But then as people responding to the post, a lot of people were saying, I just don't have an LGS that will have us. There's just not one that, or, on the days that I need, and, they're busy doing other events like Magic and other stuff. There's not enough tables and a lot of stores now, they don't even have this table space. Like, I have 32 tables here, which is small compared to what I have at New Cut, but 32 is a lot compared to some game stores out there that may have 1, 2, maybe 4 tables, which was what we had in here initially was 4 tables, seating for 16, and quickly that just came to be not enough. We needed more, but there are game stores that are in small spaces that just don't have the space to run events, and especially large events like pre-releases would do and stuff like that. League Cups, there are requirements that Pokemon puts forth that you have to have so many seats and things, and there's just a lot of places that may not be eligible. Even during tournaments and league events, you can't have alcohol. That's one thing that is kind of a little thing with Pokemon in particular. You can't serve alcohol in the same place as you're holding a tournament. So a lot of places that do like barcades and maybe places that people host events like D&D or Magic and cardboard events, they might have alcohol there just to supplement. We would love to do alcohol to supplement it and try to help out numbers a little bit. But Pokemon doesn't like it. Doesn't like the organized play being in the same area as that. So that's a rough thing that you have to avoid. So there are lots of reasons why this is not viable for a lot of people. And I learned, and as I was going through and I was reading that, it made me really think about, this should be a boon for game stores, but these are just people that are just losing league. A lot of people are just getting their league shuts down because they aren't in a game store. And it makes sense from a logistical sense for Pokemon. You have to be able to send product to them. You got to be able to validate people. If you do something wrong, like how is Pokemon going to punish you? They can't pull your distribution rights. If I screw up and run league or sell off my league stuff and make money incorrectly or taking advantage of my player base, the first step to punish me would be, okay, you can't sell Pokemon, which would be devastating. But a lot of leagues, if they don't have stuff to sell, they don't care. Like there's no regimen that they can do. So I can see where it makes sense to that. They're kind of tightening the ropes and trying to make sure that leagues are being run and run correctly and fairly, and that people that are maybe getting league support shouldn't be getting league support, because I've heard about people running league cups and league challenges here recently in parts of their houses because they have Pokemon distribution and they're an online store, but you know they did what they had to be a league to get all the fun things with that, right? So it's pretty wild to think of, but you know that type of stuff is what they're wanting to crack down on, I'm sure. So definitely some changes in Pokemon happening, and it's sad to see leagues disappear because I'd rather have people playing the game than not. There's a league across the river from me in Indiana that is having to close because they don't have a store that's close, and it's just not convenient, and I don't know what they're going to do. I offered to even, you know, can I have you tie me to the league, and then you know, I can get product for you, and you just, you know, whatever you want to do as far as that. Is there a way that we can work that around? I don't know if that's a thing, and I think that kind of circumvents what Pokemon is trying to do, but anything to try to keep leagues going and people playing is what the goal should be, right? So we're going to look into that and see what I can do, if I can help out in any way. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to be rough. Kids and people that very, very large leagues. These are not little leagues. These are little leagues. These are, you know, bigger leagues. He has 20, 30 people that show up to his leagues, and that's a bummer. So just a weekly event. 20 people that don't get to play Pokemon anymore. So that sucks. It's a bummer. And the leagues that have had it the roughest, because they're not a store, getting product and, you know, pricing and stuff like that, they just don't have it like, you know, I would just give prizes off the wall for people. You know, they don't have that. So it's rough. It's a rough go. So I hate to see it. I hate to see people not getting to play the game just because they're not at a store. But that's the way Pokemon is doing it, and you guys probably haven't heard about it because it's been kind of hush hush, and they're changing a lot of things in the back end of league play and pre-releases and stuff like that. So they're obviously taking a look at this, and they're finally putting an end to everything as far as non LGS leagues. So just wanted to make you guys aware, tell a little story, and kind of make you guys aware of something that you probably didn't know. But I appreciate you guys clicking on the video. Let me know if you ever went to a league like that, or maybe you had a league that you played at and played at a library or McDonald's or an Arby's or whatever it is. Let me know in the comments. Let me see how many of you guys, you know, grew up that way or remember it and have memories of that, because it's something that's not going to be a thing anymore. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you. Okay, bye.